So part of being financially literate, you're going to have to understand how it is to go to court. Since I've been in the real estate business since 2004, I've been to court, I can't even count how many times, and I've won every time, right? So today I'd like to talk to you about the 5 things that I do every time to prepare to go to court, and so we can relate to the judge and win your case in small claims courts. Okay, let's do it. Greetings, class. It's Kris Haskins with therealestateroundup.com. My mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. So today I'd like to take you on a small journey with my life as we teach you how to win in small claims court. I've studied this stuff for years and been to court. I can't even count how many times. So today you got to know what you're doing before you show up in the court case. Being in business or being an entrepreneur, there's bound to be a time where you have a disagreement with somebody regarding money, right? Regarding money. Greg Penny, my mentor, used to tell me, Kris, if you think people that you're dealing with are going to treat money the way you do, you've got another thing coming. And I've learned that over time. We treat people's money and time with the utmost respect, but we can't always rely on that for the other person, right? So today I'm going to give you 5 things that has allowed me to win in court every time I go, right? And we'll touch on a little bit of eviction court, but we've got another video for that coming up. Today is more or less on when people have a problem or discrepancy with money, right? So the first thing is dates, roundup, dates. You got to really get into the judge's head when you show up to court. Get into their shoes. You got to paint a picture for them, right? So every time I start off, when you go up, Your Honor, he's going to say, sir, plead your case. Well, Your Honor, on June 25th, I can remember like it was yesterday, this dude I loaned $4,000 to, we were buying and selling cars. I just put up the money. He was going to bring the car and do the work. The car needed more work than we thought it. The car needed more work than he thought it was going to be. So the guy just figured he'd walk away with my money. You know, I don't take it to the streets. I take it to the judge, right? So, Your Honor, June 25th, I loaned the money to boom. We did this. This is the date that he said we're going to do. Boom. So the date. The next time on July 8th, he said this. Boom. So dates. Go back to the beginning. When did this agreement start? The judge loves dates. If you watch any judge channel on TV, you'll see, when did you meet with him? When? Dates. Always have dates when you go into the judge, because the judge is going to be back. Okay, well, what was I doing at that time? You have to plead your case. They know, okay, well, was it cold, hot? Was it spring, something? So they know. So your case will make sense when you show up, right? So locations. The next thing is locations. Let the judge know where you met. Well, Your Honor, we met at the McDonald's on Mercury Boulevard. Well, we met over here at the Starbucks, and when we talked about this, boom. Well, I met him in front of the house. He came over to my house, and we talked about ABC. That way, it seems more real when you're talking to the judge. So the judge is like, okay, this has the air of legitimacy. I remember when I met people, the judge asked me, where did you meet him at? Because sometimes your defendant will lie. They'll say, well, Your Honor, I never met him. Then you could say, well, we met, boom. I remember because XYZ was there too. And remember, it was raining that day, and it was a big storm. It was a car crash right up the street. So you're making the air of legitimacy when you meet with the judge, right? So the judge is going to say, does this sound real? So the truth just has a ring to it. And you're going to back your truth up by having the dates and locations. The next thing is your story. What is your intent? What was your intent when you started this ordeal, right? Well, Your Honor, when I met with him, my understanding was boom, right? And as we started to talk about this, he showed me the car, he showed me the repairs, here are the pictures, here's the picture of the car. So it kind of looks like your story, you're painting a picture once again for the judge. The judge loves pictures because you got to think about all the other people that are going to come into court. Well, Your Honor, I think it was around December 8th, or maybe it was, then the judge will go, just give me what month it was, right? And you come in December 8th, 4:00 p.m. we met. Oh my goodness. The judge is going to love you. They are going to love you when you have your stuff together and you don't require them to do a lot of thinking and putting in missing parts. The judges hate it when you have to put missing parts. Okay, we have to presume or assume where you met here. What were you doing at that time? What date? They cannot stand it. That's why people lose their court cases. Dates, locations, stories. What was your intent? Well, my intent was I thought we were going to do boom, 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 boom. You're painting that what you thought mentally. So when your defendant comes back, well, Your Honor, this is what I thought. You got a story. You got a story, and your story is backed up with these three. The next thing is documents, roundup. Documents, electrical documents or hard documents. Either one nowadays is cool, right? E-docs, text messages and emails, all that mess. Documents. Every time we do a deal with somebody, we've got documents, right? You signed here, and that document already has the date on it. So they sign, but sometimes defendants will say, well, that's not my signature. Oh, I signed that under duress. That's why you have your intent. Gotta have your intent. Documents, well, Your Honor, my intent, well, back to the intent. The story around it was I thought we were going to do boom, 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 boom. And here's the document that explains what I thought. And you show that to the judge, they're going to look at it, and they're going to ask the defendant, well, what did you think? And sometimes people can, when they look at a document, the reader can interpret it differently, right? People can interpret words differently. So when you got your docs and they signed it, and text, keep a trail. Text messages and email, if you can. Text messages and email. Keep that stuff just in case. Every time I do a transaction with a business person, I always think in my mind, am I going to have to prove this? Keep it. Boom, boom. Date, email came in. This date, text message came in. Just keep it there. That way you have proof of, you just got a timeline. Last one is timeline. So when you show up, you can say, Your Honor, on this date we did boom, boom, boom. On this next date here, we did boom, 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 X, Y, Z. And you're building. So what happens is the judge wants to have this full picture. So every time I have a tenant, right, even with my, for eviction court, if they pay late, I have a little ledger. I put it in there. Boom. They were late this day. They called for repair this day. Boom. So you have, when you show up, you've got all these little dates. You got 10 or 20 dates on a piece of paper. Well, Your Honor, we met here. You can show them. And the judge is going to look at you. You've painted a full timeline since the first time that you communicated or you established this agreement. You've got a timeline. Well, we did this on this day. Boom, we did this. We did this. Next time we did this. When I met him here at the McDonald's, we talked about ABC. Oh, I'm telling you guys, this is how you win court cases every time. This is how I've done it since 2004. I remember before I learned this stuff, I used to show up to court. Your Honor, what was in June? Was June or July? What year was that? I don't know. They cannot stand it, and you are going to lose your case. You're going to lose if you don't have, at least, if you don't want to pull all this stuff together, at least have your dates. At least have your dates. The timeline, if you look at all my rental properties, you open up the folder, I've got a piece of paper. Zoom, they were late rent, they called for a repair. They wanted me to fix this lock. Because in real estate with tenants, some of the repairs are not covered. Like if you break our lock, that's not, you lose your key, I have to charge you to come out there. So I've got a lost key. This date we went out there, we fixed the lock. And then when they move out, I can take that off of the security deposit if they don't want to pay for the $50 change of key or lockout fee or whatever. So timeline, boom, 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 boom. Have your timeline down. Judges love it when you're prepared. So listen, guys, take a few seconds and subscribe to the channel. Like this content and share with any other investors or any other business people. There's going to come a time if you're in business that you're going to have a disagreement or someone's not going to treat the money like you think they should have treated it, or someone's going to just walk off with the money. It's going to happen. I can't tell you. My mentor was sued for tens of thousands of dollars. One day I'll tell you about that too. Round up. Listen, I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Get in there and win this case. Have all this stuff together. All right.